So what if I told you that officially Phnom Penh is one of the most expensive cities in all of Asia to rent an apartment? Yeah, sounds crazy, right? Well, stick with me for just a few minutes because I'm going to show you the real story behind those numbers.
Right now, the official median asking price for a one-bedroom apartment is $550 a month. Believe it or not, that number actually makes Phnom Penh the seventh priciest city for renters in Asia. It puts it ahead of places like Hanoi, which is kind of wild. But here's the big question. Is that what people are actually paying? Well, the short answer is a big, fat no. That asking price is not the real price, and I'm about to show you why.
We're going to break down what you'll really pay for rent. We'll look at the best neighborhoods for your budget, and this is a big one, we're going to cover the critical mistakes that you absolutely have to avoid so you don't lose a ton of money.
All right, let's dive right in and bust this rental myth. Why is that $550 figure so misleading? It really boils down to two main things. First, there's just not a huge supply of the really high-quality apartments that expats tend to look for, especially in that prime neighborhood, BKK1. And second, there's this weird thing called the condo oversupply paradox. You see all these brand new shiny condo buildings going up everywhere, right? But a huge chunk of them were just bought by foreign investors as an investment, and they're just sitting there, empty. They aren't actually on the rent market, which pushes up the listed prices for the places that are available.
And, just to make things a little more interesting, there's a new trend for 2025. There are some new tax laws over in Thailand that are actually pushing a lot of expats to pack up and move here to Cambodia. So what does that mean? It means more people are fighting for that same small number of good apartments, and you guessed it, that drives the asking prices up even higher.
Okay, enough with the theory. Let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk about the neighborhoods and what you should actually budget for.
All right, have a look at this breakdown. At the very top, you've got BKK1 and Tonle Bassac. These are your prime expat zones, no question. And the rent shows it. We're talking $700 easy, and it goes way up from there. They're super modern, they've got everything you need, but you are definitely paying a premium. But now, look all the way down at the bottom, the Russian market, also called TTP. Now this is the sweet spot. With rents from $300 to $500, it's got this awesome, hip, walkable vibe with tons of great little cafes. For most long-term expats, this is the place to be. It's the best value, hands down.
So, obviously rent is just one piece of the puzzle. What does a full monthly budget actually look like when you put it all together?
This should give you a pretty realistic picture. You can see a comfortable budget, with a nice apartment in a central spot, comes out to about $1,150 a month. But what's really amazing is that a lean budget is totally possible for under $900, especially if you find a place in an area like the Russian market. So you see, despite those crazy high official numbers we started with, living here is still incredibly affordable.
All right, next up, let's talk about the different kinds of apartments you'll actually find here. There are basically four main types to choose from. So here are your choices. Serviced apartments are the easiest option if you're brand new to the city. Think hotel-style living, gym, pool, cleaning service, but they're also the priciest. Then you have condos, which are modern but usually don't include those extra services. On the other end of the spectrum, you've got your basic Khmer-style shop house, which is the cheapest way to go. But here's the real secret for getting the best value, the renovated shop house. This is where they've taken a traditional building and put a modern, Western-style apartment inside. You usually give up the gym and the pool, but you get a lot more space and save a bunch of money. It's a fantastic deal. Okay, now this next section, this might be the most important part of this entire guide. We need to talk about the common rental scams and mistakes that can cost you some serious cash.
So listen up, because this is really important. We are going to walk through 5 huge mistakes. Getting ripped off on your electricity bill, not negotiating your rent, signing a flimsy lease, losing your security deposit for no reason, and paying agent fees that you shouldn't be paying.
First up, the electricity scam. This one is huge. The official government rate for electricity is about 18 cents per kilowatt hour, but it's super common for landlords to charge you 25 or even 35 cents. That difference doesn't sound like much, but it can easily add an extra $100 to your bill every single month. The fix? It's simple. Always get the electricity rate in writing in your lease before you even think about signing.
Second mistake, not negotiating. You have to negotiate. Never, and I mean never, accept the first price they give you. It's just expected here. It's part of the culture. And hey, here's a little pro tip. If you're able to, offer to pay for 6 or even 12 months of rent up front. in cash. Landlords absolutely love that security, and they will often give you a huge discount for it. We're talking maybe $100 or more off the rent each month. It works.
Mistake number 3 is signing a weak lease. I cannot stress this enough. Your lease is your only defense. Cambodian rental law really favors the landlord, so a verbal agreement means absolutely nothing. Your written contract is your shield. It has to include the rent amount, the deposit, that exact electricity rate we just talked about, and a clear clause about who pays for fixing things when they inevitably break.
Fourth, let's talk about how to guarantee you get your security deposit back. It's a classic move for landlords to blame you for damages that were there long before you were. So here's what you do. The day you move in, before you even unpack, walk through the entire apartment with your phone. Take photos and videos of every single little scratch, scuff mark, or cracked tile. Then, and this is the important part, immediately send all those photos and videos to your landlord in a WhatsApp or Telegram message. Boom. You've just created a time-stamped record that they can't argue with when it's time for you to move out.
And finally, the 5th common mistake. This one has to do with real estate agents. If an agent shows you an apartment and you decide to take it, who do you think pays their commission?
The answer is simple. The landlord pays the agent, not you. For any standard one-year lease, the landlord is the one who pays the commission. You, as the tenant, should never, ever pay a finder's fee. If an agent tries to ask you for one, it's a scam. Just turn around and walk away.
All right, that was a lot, so let's do a super quick recap of the really important stuff. 1. The real average rent you should be thinking about is closer to $480, not that scary $550 number. 2. The Russian market area, TTP, offers the absolute best bang for your buck. 3. Always get that electricity rate per kilowatt hour in writing in your lease. And 4. The day you move in, video every bit of existing damage and send it straight to your landlord.
So that really covers the essentials of renting smart here in Phnom Penh. I hope this helps you out as you plan your move. If you want the full written guide that has all the details, maps, and other useful links, you can find it at movekh.com. If you found this useful, feel free to subscribe for more simple guides to Cambodia. And if you have any questions at all, just drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.